You're going to be learning about how to create unlimited topics, create content, and particularly blog content and content marketing in order to drive traffic to your website, to content, to help you build your business using this really smart technology that's come on the market. And Jacob's going to dive deep into that. Jacob Sharman, if you haven't met him, he's a website specialist and online strategist, lead generation strategist, and he's been in the business for over 15 years building websites for professionals. He also built my website. Amazing. So you get to, if you have, I'll put a link in the chat box so you can check it out. And he actually built our Friday Connect website, so you can check how how smart some of the tools that he works with. And this is just going to give you a little window into what it's like to work with us. And like I mentioned, please connect with us, stay connected on our Facebook group as well as our YouTube channel, where we have a lot of these trainings there. So thanks for being here. And if others come in, so make sure you keep your mic on mute. And if you have any questions, keep it to the end. We'll have a Q&A where we can answer everything for you. So I'll allow you to share your screen share, Jacob, and take it away.
Okay. So today, like she said, we're going to talk about how to use blogs. Past trainings I've done for Friday Connect, we've talked about kind of the organic side, why organic lead generation is important, because one, it's free. It just takes a little bit of time, but it's something that is a long-term strategy, and unlike a paid ad that's going to get you leads today. So blogging, it's going to take about 4.7 months to start seeing probably some SEO return from your blogs to help your website rank in Google and to get leads. But it could also start working day one. It's all about how you promote your website. So we're going to talk about kind of the key practices of using a blog, how to come up with unlimited topics, and how to use this new amazing tool, ChatGPT, to basically do most of the work for you, but how to leverage it properly. So that's what we're going to cover today. So I'm going to end up sharing my screen and then kind of go into that. A couple of quick things is, you're going to see some different changes with Friday Connect as we're doing this 2.0 launch. Now, you guys will, when you register, we encourage you to register every week. Before, we kind of gave you the Zoom link. Now, every week in the email when you register, there'll be a link to join the event where you'll just enter your name and the email you use to register to let us know you're attended, and it will automatically take you to the Zoom like you were today. So I wanted to throw it out there because we have a few changes coming up that we'll keep you guys updated on. So I'm sharing my screen, and hopefully it's not, there we go. All right. So when we're starting a blog, you can run a blog on a lot of different things. A lot of platforms out there would be like WordPress. Here at our brokerage, we have KV Core. We get it for free. There's an easy blog section where you can add blogs to that. There's free sites like WordPress.com, Blogger, HubSpot. There's many places you can start a blog and then actually have it linked to your CRM so you can actually capture those leads. When you're starting your blog, make sure you have a way to capture leads. One of the biggest things I see with websites is people can get traffic there, but the problem is they're not converting leads because they're actually not even getting leads because you're not capturing a name and an email address. So blogs are a great way to write an article. For instance, if I'm going to do tips on buying a home, I might include at the very bottom of that article, hey, download my free home buyer's guide for Houston. And when they click that, I get their name, email address, and then it emails them the document, doesn't redirect them, emails the document. So that way we make sure we got a good email address. So if they realized, oh, I gave them a bad email address, then they'll go back and register again. So it's a great way to get leads and to be able to follow up with people, to provide value. Blogs will make you the go-to source in your area because you're constantly putting out your knowledge and people can take their time to get to know you versus that pushy sales approach. They're actually coming to you, which is what you want because they're already warmed up by the time they get to you. So when we're doing blogs, you want to do something that's consistent for what you're going after. So your target audience should be kept in mind when thinking about topics. But usually a lot of things, and this is why we developed Groovy and things like that for the social media strategies, is most people don't know what to write about. So ChatGPT can be an amazing tool. Another tool is just Google real estate blog articles, and people will give you a title, and then you can even bring that title over here to ChatGPT and put it in there and tell it what you want it to write an article for. So if many of you don't know what ChatGPT is, it is basically a language AI tool, so artificial intelligence, and it's basically, as you see here, it's a chat box. You can see all my chats that I've been doing on the side, all of the work that I do to help me kind of refine the way I say a few things. And the best thing is, the easiest way to think about this, that this is your assistant. This is your copywriter. And if you're going to ask it to do something, you need to, just like you would tell your assistant, hey, I need an article that talks about A, B, C, D, and I need it to be this length. I need it to be written like this. You're going to do the same thing with ChatGPT because it can understand the commands that you are giving to it, and it learns and adapts within your chat. The coolest thing is these chats on the side. If I were to go back a week later and ask for something to do with that, let's say if it was an article I had it right, it's going to remember what we talked about in that chat, and I don't have to re-explain things. So that is the cool thing about this, and it's free. I did upgrade. I just finally got access right before this meeting to upgrade to the Plus, which is about $21 with tax a month. And the only thing is it guarantees me that if the server is overloaded, I get first come access to ChatGPT. So for me, I use it a lot, so I recommend it. But most of you can get free access. Most of the times that you're going to want to spend is in the morning or in the later evening. You can definitely get access. A lot of time midday is when it gets full. So let's dive into how to use ChatGPT. Like I said, I went ahead and pre-wrote this just so that way we're not spending a lot of time. So basically, I'm going to tell it, hey, I need 10 topics and titles for my real estate blog to educate buyers and sellers and educate them on things in the Houston community. So I don't want it to just be real estate tips. I want to talk about the local community. And so it's going to, in real time, as you see it typing, here's 10 articles that it's literally generating in real time. And the great thing about this is, as you're doing this, you can tell it, hey, I don't like topic number 2. Can you give me a different one? And it will literally go up and replace topic number 2. If you, let's say you're writing articles and stuff, you can tell it, hey, in the paragraph above, paragraph number 3, can you rewrite that paragraph? And it'll do it. I mean, you can tell it to write this in the voice of a pirate, like a pirate's talking, and it will do that. You can use this to translate. I've done articles in English, and I have it automatically translate to Spanish for me. Even though I'm bilingual, it helps with that time of translation, and I go back and correct some mistakes. Now, some key things is, this is not 100% accurate all the time. So the more information you feed it, the better, because it's not connected to the internet. Even though we're accessing it from the internet, it's not Googling something you're asking it. So right as of now, it only has up till 2021. So if you were to ask it market report stats, it's not going to give those to you. But you can copy and paste market report stats in there, and it will write a really nice market report. So let's say I like topic number 1. And I'm going to do this shorter. Your blog article should be around 12 to 1,500 words minimum if you're really trying to rank on Google with that. But for time's sake, I'm going to tell it, please write a blog article on topic number 2, or let's do topic number 1. Above, I need it to be 800 words with talking points. So I'm telling it, if you want it to be different, do that. But for sake of time, I'm going to have it do this. So here we go. The benefits of that. So while that's writing out, you can start reading it, but it's literally going to write it. So some things I usually tell it when I'm writing an article is, hey, I need an intro, I need a conclusion, and I need a call to action to contact me. And I put my name in there, Jacob Sharman, if they need a realtor in Houston, if they're interested in buying, selling, leasing, or investing. So make sure all of your blogs have a good intro. You want that intro to be about 200 words because Google looks at the first 300 words. And then on top of it, make sure you have a good call to action. So everything you do, whether it's social media, any type of promotions, make sure you always have a good, strong call to action, because it's one thing to read the article, but if they don't know what to do after they've read it, then this was all wasted. Okay, so make sure you have a good call to article, whether a call to action, whether it's to go schedule an appointment in your Calendly, to email you, to fill out a form, something where you're trying to capture them as a lead. And as we see, here's the article. When it comes to home buying and selling home in Houston, Having the right real estate agent by your side makes all the difference. So it goes through the points: local market knowledge, networking opportunities, experience and expertise, time and stress saving, and exclusive access to exclusive listings. And right here, in conclusion, there you go. The only thing I didn't add was a call to action. Then I can go back and say, please add a call to action to work with me, Jacob Shireman, Houston Realtor. And I'll literally go back and redo the conclusion, and then I'll add that call to action. So there's unlimited possibilities with this. I even did a video that you can go check out. Just search Jacob Shireman, or just go to my website, jacobshireman.com, and there's a YouTube link there. I even talk about how to use this to write amazing listing descriptions. So the other thing I want to show you is that you can also, let's say you have an idea. You already have a topic that you want to talk about. Maybe there's a trend in the market that's happening, how we're converting right now, at least where I'm at, into a buyer's market. You can tell it, hey, write me an article about how we're converting into a buyer's market. Here's some stats. You can literally just bullet point stuff. Hey, here's my 5 talking points. Write me an article on that. And it'll take the information you've given it and write an article for that. You can use this to help you write script. The thing I do with my blog, if you're also doing video, is I write my blogs and then I immediately go record the video, and then I link the two together. So there's so much that you can do with this to generate unlimited content. And so that's what there. So like I said, it saves the chat over here, so you can always come back and make any corrections that you need. And then, like you said, you can tell it to do 100 topics, and it'll do that. So one thing I want to show you too is what is the next step. So now we have the content. So like I said, our brokerage, I'm just going to show you this because it's super simple, and most of you have a CRM that gives you your front end website. Like if you were to go to my front end website at eXp Realty, I know Follow Up Boss does that and some other things, but you can add a blog section to your thing. So right here is 2 blog articles. You can see they show up here. And so if we were actually going to do this, all I would do is come over here to my blog section. And then right here, I can add blogs. So I don't use this a lot because I have built out my own custom website. So I put all my blog articles there for both my marketing blog and my real estate business. So here it's easy. You just say add post, put your title up here. I recommend titles be under 60 characters, and that's just because with Google, if you were to Google something, and we could do an example, if we were to Google home buying tips, and I spelled that wrong. So right here, as you see right here, it gives you your search engine results, and the title that you give your blog, or the meta title, that's always going to show here. Okay, just like here, 14 tips for first-time home buyers. And then the description of that will show under it. So this is kind of what they can expect is going to be on the website. So Google looks a lot at this to see what the title is. So this can entice people to look at it. And then the description allows people to say, oh yeah, I definitely want to read more about this article. So if we come over here, we would just put our title that it gave us. Benefits of working with Realtor, and then you just put it in, and then I just literally come down here, copy. Now, a couple tips is when you paste in any type of text editor, I always tell you to right click and say paste as plain text, or Control-Shift-V. And the reason why is if I were to paste this, you're going to see all of the gray from the markup of the ChatGPT results. So definitely want to get rid of that. So if I paste it like normal, and then you just come here and format it like you would normal. You can make these, bullet points, or just bold them. And that's what you're going to do when you're adding that. So one thing to do is when you're doing a blog, only one H1 header, which is your main title, and everything else should be kind of a header 2, which just makes the title tag. So we can make this a header 2. Okay. And then if you have like subheadings, then it would be header 3, just kind of like bullet points work. And then you just come in here, format it, make it look nice, make sure grammar is good. Sometimes ChatGPT is a little off on some grammar things, but it all depends on, I know when Darmilla and I are writing stuff, sometimes she'll send stuff from Canada and different spelling because it's the way it is, like color has an OUR. So just make sure it fits your region and how you like to talk. And then I always sometimes go through, and especially in the intro and the conclusion, I make it sound like me. I don't want it to sound like a robot's talking, but you want to make it more personable and do that. So, and then if I wanted to publish this, I just publish now. And all chat blogs too, you can schedule stuff. So we tell our agents in our group, they have access to Groovy, and we tell them go find topics in there or use ChatGPT to get topics and then write your blog. You can do this in about 1 to 2 hours. You could write blogs to go out once a week. Easy. If you really want to take your blog game to the next level and really kind of master SEO, you need a blog that goes out, 4 to 5 times a week. Okay. And what's great about content too, that I want you guys to start thinking about, is local market knowledge could be a whole blog article on its own. You could do a kind of high arching blog article on 5 tips, and then you could dive into each one of those tips and make it a larger article in itself. So like I said, sky's the limit when it comes to coming up with these blog articles and topics, and ChatGPT will give you everything you need. But again, it comes into providing enough information so it can actually deliver a great result. If you just give it the benefits of working with a local real estate agent, you don't tell it word count, how to talk, talking points, it's just going to spit out a few paragraphs unless you truly tell it how long you need. So key takeaway points from today is just if you're really wanting to focus on blog, make sure that you're posting at least once a week. And like I said, just take one day, schedule it. When you're using ChatGPT, it's probably going to take you 30, 40 minutes as you're doing it. But once you get faster and you realize how ChatGPT works and you can spit out content faster, you can do that. And then just make sure you have a good title that's captivating, something like 7 tips on buying a home, something that where people like to see those catchy titles and make them click it. And make sure you're promoting your blogs. Make sure you're putting it on your social media. Make sure you're, even LinkedIn has a thing where you can copy your articles in there and promote them. Make sure you're putting them in your stories and just posting them everywhere. So that way, once people start finding your blog, it'll help with the increase of traffic, it'll help it rank better as well. And you can even, if you have your Google business profile, you can go make an update there and say, hey, go check out my newest article. And now that's even letting Google do that. So, and then just make sure you have a call to action and a way to somewhere on the page to contact you, capture their information, because without a call to action, your blog is kind of just doesn't serve a purpose. And make sure every content you put out serves a purpose, that it's there to get you a lead, it's to educate, it's to provide value, and it's to make you the go-to person in your community. And when you're thinking about content too, don't just think about the education. That's boring because there's tons of educational stuff out there. But think about local events that are happening here in Houston. We have the Houston Rodeo. So I'm going to do a lot of content on that because that is relevant for today and what people are going to be searching out about. And if I can get that content out before everybody else, guess what? Now my blog is ranking because I'm the go-to source because I'm the only one that has something about Houston Rodeo 2023. So think about that. Put out, you could write about restaurants, events in your area. So much you can do. Sky's the limit with topics. So that's pretty much what I have for you today as far as the content goes. Does anybody have any questions or any questions in the chat?